and stuff, but like I don't know. I enjoy, along with a handful of other people. There, honestly, there's a lot of Yoshi players that I really enjoy watching their alternate characters. Boom is another person. Geo is another person. Like Yoshi players seem to do pretty well when it comes to alternate characters, and that's the kind of stuff that I like to see. Gotcha. It's always interesting to see people play their alternates, because what tends to happen is that they use the moves that they think are the most broken when they deal with it. You know what I mean? Like the moves that they're used to seeing on the other side of the screen and they get really frustrated with, that's how people typically play alternate characters. I find that interesting.
And it's a way in which, like, I guess, that's their interpretation of how they think the character works. But there's so many other moves and so many other things that initiates those ultimate characters games, in which, if you don't understand those, then getting to those moves is kind of like, eh. But as we're going,
it would have been really funny if we ended up seeing an Astaroth mirror. That would have never happened, but I think it would have been cool to see an Astaroth mirrors are the only kind of mirrors that I actually think are pretty cool. Because
hey man, I like seeing wrestling matches.
Yeah, it's just you wrestling, right?
How's it going in there though? But Rikuto is kind of falling behind. Lolo getting those low and highs. Okay, ooh, and then tech crouches over that grab right over there. Gets that launch. That's such a devastating punish for just missing grab right over there. But it's okay, because he would have done the same damage if the grab actually would have hit. But gets spun around on Beyblade. With that Yoshi, tops.
Yeah, Yoshi is one of the hardest characters to deal with when it comes to trying to figure out, like, how to keep him from just getting that little bit of damage.
Wow, completely. Wow. Oh, he has to be feeling bad about that.
Yeah, that was pretty desperate pretty quickly.
Okay, slamming down with the soul charge though. Yeah. Okay, goes with the crowd grab, didn't work out. Bull rush prevents him from getting grabbed himself. Goes level 2 GI. That's overwards. Get the hit confirm off the counter hit. So much damage. It's a death.
He gets a C worth of damage off of something like that, because this character is fair.
he spent more to do that.
Right. Yeah, he spent half a bar to do a C's worth of damage. It's true. Ain't no doubt about it. Okay, so Rikuto is immediately going with a more aggressive stance. I think probably similar to what ended up happening with Arcgraves. We might be seeing a situation where he's like, well, if I'm just going to have to deal with a lot of the pressure that I'm dealing with now, I might as well do it on my own terms. So potentially Rikuto's just trying to be a little bit more in your face. Alright, that's gonna be RE safe.
Jumps out that RE option. Try to commit to the RE option earlier, but it didn't work out in that setting.
I guess the tech grab's there, so important information for Rikuto to have. Potentially go for a crash grab. It's gonna be tough either way. Trying to, like, deal with the potential GI from Lolo in the middle of that 2-1-4 ace ring.
I guess it's wrong. Takes the suplex over. Nice. Ooh, gets the tag trap over. Knocks him down. This isn't going to be a guaranteed one, but tries to go for the GI on Wake Up, expecting a meaty hit, probably off of the beat. Didn't work out. Nice sidestep, one-hit game. No-hit game, because he took over the second round right over there. And this is looking like a completely different dynamic.
Yeah, this really goes to show the different dynamics of Astaroth. It's amazing what can happen. The different, like, Astaroth can look like an absolute moron if you're just wrong about your mixes, and if you're right about your mixes, you look like a god, and you can beat any character in the game. He's such a polarizing character. Ooh, Lolo, unabashedly, just going for ring outs all day, and
wait a minute,
exactly
wait up, oh!
Like, not even hard at that point. Very quintessential, like, Season 1 Zos gameplay, where he just like, oh, did my opponent activate Soul Charge? I will just back up to the other end of the screen and just waddle around there and hopefully be correct about a 2-3.
That was a devastating hit that came in there. So unfortunate that he had to do it. Oh, gets him over there. The crouch grab going on. And he has some kind of pickup on how Lolo wants to defend himself off of these ducks that he's still committing to. And Rikuto thought he would have been the better of that to actually block mid, but it didn't work out in that sense. And now he's in this sick options. Doesn't work out. Yeah. Oh, no. Rikuto goes back to that crouch game, but it doesn't work out. There's like a little mini game that they have in between each other, specifically between these two players that, Lolo's choosing those defensive options. Knocks him down again during the soul charge.
Yeah, 4B covering.
And that's gonna break this back. And
Rikuto ended up being right about the grab. It was a tough grab to be correct about, because obviously either grab is going to kill. The back grab is typically what you want to tech, but it really didn't matter in a situation like that. And it's also important to note that in a very similar situation, where Rikuto had the Soul Charge activation, which ended up slamming Lolo down onto the ground from being in the air. First time around, Lolo decided to not do anything off of the ground. Second time, he ended up teching up, and Rikuto was immediately available for the 4B, which effectively covers both options. So it's not as much of a mix as I think Lolo was letting on. And so that's what ended up kind of starting that momentum train that killed Lolo in the last round.
Okay, gets hit with the 4 KB. Okay. The ball up. Nice. Spins a little bit, but gets some grab for his troubles.
Ooh,
oh,
nice
that was able to duck after that and get the follow-up. Lolo's so aware of like these button situations that he's in and just avoiding them in general. Break attack. Rikuto having very contained defense.
Yeah,
just a slight step into blocking. Yeah. Trying not to mess up. Could still get messed up from here, but
yeah, this is really tough. Rikuto has basically defended himself against like 15 different reverse ring-outs already.
Yeah.
Does not get the 6B catch on the back. That's just kind of unfortunate for Rikuto. Okay.
Just getting small calibered away.
Yeah. I mean, it's really tough, right? That's exactly what Astaroth is probably the weakest against. He just kind of typically tries to take solace in the fact that it's like, well, I can be wrong about the small caliber like 15 times in a row.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter because I'll be able to outdamage. I don't know if that's necessarily the case against Lolo, though. Like, if you're right or if you're wrong about one grab, Lolo's going to wall rising at you and you're basically dead. Like, the amount of damage that Yoshi is able to get into some of these punishes and some of this pressure by sinking meter into it can be very devastating. But again, if Rikuto is able to be correct about his grabs and like overall defensive style, then he can potentially make it so that the small caliber won't matter. I don't think that's a ring out. That's just gonna be a good amount of damage. Oh wait, I lied. I think that is a ring out. Yeah.
Oh.
Sheesh.
Okay, maybe you had a point. Maybe you had a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
Character is no joke, dude.
Flipped you over to the other side.
All right, I think he's dead.
Full combo. Is he dead again? He cannot be dead.
Okay, no, he's not. That was pretty close. But he ended up losing a lot of soul charge time and lost his soul charge almost entirely. He does have another one. Astaroth is. Oh no, he doesn't. He
doesn't do that. Yeah. Just got the bar though, so it'll be very important.
He's done a run of crouch grab like 5 times in a row.
He's been getting hit by the same grab too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been the back grab, huh? Yeah. All right, there's the tech up again. Try to teleport.
Oh, but no, it beats it out. The Bull Rush is losing over to it, breaks it. Okay.
I think that's
it's the certain follow-up death. No, it's not. Okay.
I thought he was gonna get the wall.
But he did get the 2K hit afterwards, and then it's gonna fold him over towards the bendy stick. That's what I'm calling that.
But okay, this is a situation that Rikuto typically tries to put his opponents in, where he has resources and an opponent does not. But now it's the other way around. So I don't know how this is gonna work. Now, Astaroth builds a lot of meter very quickly, but Yoshimitsu is a fantastic character at stealing said resource. So it's gonna be really tough either way.
Okay.
Break attack, break attack. The bar. Lolo wants to end this as soon as he can.
Goes in. I think it's confirm off from there into a mix. Wrong.
I think he's dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yo, this character's the GOAT.
Yeah, Yoshimitsu Soul Charge is his meter game just overall is very, very difficult to deal with.